Watch out, Stefan! What's up, Bills Mafia? Today is the final day of training camp at St. John Fisher for the Buffalo Bills, and I got all the sights and sounds for you. But before we get to that, let's get to that intro.
This is VZ Music.
Welcome to the Mafia Sports Report. I am Tommy. Please like, subscribe, hit that notification bell because I always forget to tell you. Well, Bills Mafia, that's a wrap for training camp at St. John Fisher. And today was, a little chippy. It's a little chippiness going on at camp. The players are ready to play a team, right? Other than themselves, right? So they are ready to put the pads on and go do some damage against opposing other players from another team, right? So they're done with seeing each other's faces for the most part at St. John Fisher, and they're ready to go home and sleep in their beds. So let's get right to it, man. Let's get to the video. I don't have a lot, by the way. Today there was no pads, so no padded practice today, and that makes sense because the preseason game is Saturday versus the Colts at 1 o'clock at Highmark Stadium, also known as the Ralph and the Rich. We all call it the Ralph or the Rich. We know that. So let's get to the highlights. DeMar in the building. All right, Von's still working out, right? Still getting this thing right, getting that knee right.
You have probably been asked, how many? 1,000 questions about Dalton over the course of this offseason? 1,001? 700? Yeah. So we're going to ask you one more.
Sweet.
What makes him not a rookie? The thing that everybody keeps saying is he doesn't act like a rookie. Yeah. To you, the guy who shares a room with him, what does that mean?
A lot of it has to do with the way he can see defenses. He does a great job kind of diagnosing things on the fly and picking up new things that he's taught very quickly. He's very coachable. He's done a great job with the playbook and his hands too. I mean, he's just a very well-polished tight end, especially for coming right out of college. But just off the field, he's just an awesome guy. Very fun to hang out with, very down to earth.
Real quick, I'm super happy that Dawson Knox and Dalton Kincaid are getting along, right? Dawson Knox doesn't feel like Dalton's trying to take his job as tight end. He understands what Dalton's going to bring to this team, to the offense, and I think he's looking forward to that 1-2 punch with him and Dalton Kincaid in there on 12 personnel. So he's excited because he knows that Dalton Kincaid brings something very unique and different to this offense that we haven't had with another tight end as long as Dawson's been here since we drafted him. Now, this is no shade on Quentin Morris, who, by the way, Quentin Morris has had a good camp, but Dalton Kincaid is not your typical tight end, and I said this plenty of times. He's a playmaker, and I think, so far of what I've seen and from what I heard from players and people that have attended training camp is that dude is very, talking about Dalton Kincaid, he's just ahead of everything, right? And right now the game, it just seems it's not so fast for him, at least in training camp, right? He's getting things down. He's going against top-notch defenders. He's looking very good. He's only dropped one pass, and it was not even his fault. It was a little behind him, and he almost still made the catch. So he's catching everything. He's running crisp routes. They say he's a lot faster than, what a lot of people think, saw in at the combine. So, yeah, man, he's looking sharp, man. He's the real deal. But we'll see when Saturday comes, preseason, and obviously when regular season comes. But I'm excited for Dalton Kincaid.
If you met him and had no idea what he did for a living, you would have no idea. He doesn't carry himself like a superstar or anything like that. So he's been an awesome addition for us, and we're super excited to get him involved in the offense.
Good old Vons. Signing the autographs for the kids, man. He's a good dude, man. Like, there's so many reasons why I was happy when the Bills signed Von Miller. Obviously, one, for his ability on the field, but two, that dude, he's just a good dude, man. He brings positive energy on and off the field. He's a great ambassador of the Buffalo Bills. I got to tell you that right now, man. And not only that, he's good for the younger guys in that locker room, man. So what he brings as far as the knowledge and everything like that, players like Gregory Rousseau, players like AJ Epinesa, all the young talent in that room, Tim Settle, Ed Oliver, they're all, around this leader, a future Hall of Famer. So just love what Von Miller, I love that signing of Von Miller last year. And, let's hope he can stay healthy because he still has it, man. He still has juice in the tank to cause some damage on the field as far as, getting to the quarterback, getting sacked still. You saw it last year. It's up until he got hurt, he was having a very good season. So let's hope he can bounce back after this ACL and be the Von that we all know. DeMar's become like one of the biggest stars in Buffalo right now, man. I'm being dead serious, man. And listen, he deserves all of it, right? He deserves all the attention. He deserves all the love that he's getting from Bills Mafia, from the NFL, from the NFL fan base, everything, man, because his story is truly remarkable, and everyone's rooting for Damar Hamlin.
He's just shaking everybody's hand. He's got a lot of people that want to see him.
Josh! That's my quarterback, man. That's my quarterback, bro. Oh, my God.
Hey, Josh. Hey, Josh.
Look at Josh dropping dimes to Stephon Diggs. But, the national media wants you to think that it was a Stephon Diggs, Josh Allen problem. I told y'all it wasn't a Josh Allen, Stephon Diggs problem. It was a Stephon Diggs coaching problem. And, it got way blown out of proportion. But I will say this. I still say Stephon Diggs didn't handle it correctly, in my opinion. But I don't think McDermott or Bean did either, or the rest of the coaching staff when the season ended. They knew Stephon Diggs there was something bothering him, and they should have addressed it way earlier than day one of mandatory minicamp, and then they hold a meeting, and then all that happens, and then everyone's like, oh, it must be the Josh Allen and Stephon Diggs and I told y'all from the beginning. I don't think that was the problem. Did he handle it right? No. But my thing was, I think Stephon Diggs, just like many of us, many Bills Mafia, wanted to know what the difference is what the difference is going to be in 2023 compared to 2022, 2021, 2020. what's going to change to get us over that hump, right? That wall that we keep hitting in the playoffs. What's going to change? What's the difference, right? And I think it's fair. I think it's a fair question because he sees that we have the talent. We have the quarterback. We have the receiver, Stephon Diggs, right? We have Gabe Davis. We have Dawson Knox. We have a good defense, right? Von Miller, Ed Oliver, Jordan Poyer, Micah Hyde, Gregory Rousseau, right? We have good special teams, right? So what is going on here? Why are we continuing to hit a wall? And I think the frustration boiled over, and that's what you saw. But national media wanted you to think it's Josh Allen, Stephon Diggs. Oh, the marriage is over. They must hate each other, and Stephon Diggs must hate Josh Allen. And no, obviously not. Do you see Stephon Diggs' numbers? Stephon Diggs' numbers since he's gotten to Buffalo, it's the best in his career every single season, right? I think Stephon Diggs is like number 2 right now since 2020 of like total like receptions, yards, all that good stuff. I think he's right behind Adams, I believe. So yeah, I mean, it baffles me, man. But listen, once again, man, these two have that connection. They had that connection since 2020. There was never a Josh Allen, Stephon Diggs problem. And yeah, so let's move forward. These guys just listen, man. Like I said, since Diggs got here, they've had this connection down, and they will continue to have this connection. Man, Diggs is so crisp, man. His route running, man. That beat's so good. Yeah, that was the highlights of the last day at camp at St. John Fisher. I do got some, stuff to go over as far as what happened. So this is from shout out to AJ Sabluski. I'm sorry if I mispronounced your name. So just kind of some observations of today, and then I'll talk a little bit about it. Gabe Davis, of course, trending up. Continues to trend up. I'm telling you guys, he's going to have an unbelievable season this year. Injury scares with Diggs and Floyd both seem to be okay. Thank God. Bernard left with injury, didn't return. Let's hope for the best, but that's not a good sign, right? Especially for a guy that's battling for that middle linebacker spot. So, that sucks for him. But we'll see. It could be something minor. Dalton Kincaid and Dawson Knox continue to impress. Very good. And by the way, that's really good to hear about Knox as well, because y'all know last year was a little step back, but it wasn't really his fault. He was more used for blocking, and I expect a much better year out of Dawson Knox. Rotation continues at right guard and CB2, so that's good. That means they still – so listen, by the way, too, all that, talk about like, oh, Ryan Bates going to be the starter week 1. For sure, Torrance is looking bad in camp. No, I disagree. Okay. Everything from what I heard from people that are at camp have said the opposite. Have said Torrance is looking good in camp. Now, I know yesterday he may have a little, off day, but that's going to happen. I continue to tell you guys this. This is a top 5 offense, top 5 defense battling each other in camp. This is going to boil down to preseason, right? When they see somebody else different than their own. Teammates, right? So I think that's where Torrance will shine. That's where Torrance will win the right guard spot, in my opinion. But hey, I could be wrong. Let's see here. What am I missing here? Okay. Micah Hyde with play of the day, in my opinion, with the pass breakup on Stephon Diggs. Nice to see Micah Hyde make a place. Justin Shorter with a good day. Justin Shorter is starting to impress. Once again, it's going to come down to preseason, but I have a feeling he makes the team. Kyer Elam, physicality evident, almost too much, and I'm going to talk about that. Spencer Brown with many good reps and pass protection. I told y'all, man, Spencer Brown working with oh my God, I can't believe I'm drawing a blank here. Working with Cromer has really, really benefited him this offseason. He didn't get that opportunity last season. Like, I keep telling y'all, and y'all keep, like, I don't think you guys really understand how good Cromer is as a offensive line coach. He's one of the best to do it. Go back, look at his track record. I think he's won an award. He was named like one of the best offensive line coach when he was with the Saints. He was really good when he was here prior, in Buffalo when he back in, I believe, 2016 or 2017. Like I said, one of the best offensive line coaches out in the NFL. But last year, unfortunately, Spencer Brown didn't get the opportunity to go in training camp and work with this guy and get the one-on-ones that he needed. And obviously, once the season kicks in, you can't really get that, guys, right? Once the season kicks in, it's nothing but practice for your opponent, your next week opponent, right? They're not really taking you aside and taking the time to, like training camp does, right? This is what the whole importance of training camp is, right? For guys like Justin Shorter, guys like Kyer Elam, guys like Christian Benford, guys like Spencer Brown, all the other rookies, all the new guys, right? To learn the playbook, right? To get better at their craft, right? We all know what Stephon Diggs can do. We all know what Josh Allen can do by now, right? For them, it's more about just knocking the rust off, right? And Von Miller, same thing, like Leonard Floyd, guys like that. But the younger guys, the new guys, this is valuable time for them. And this is why training camp is important. So, let me get back to this. So, Latavius Murray making the most out of every opportunity with Damian Harris out. And listen, I told you guys, Latavius Murray, man, don't sleep on him. 6'3". The guy seems to be getting better as he ages, which is crazy for a running back. Look at his numbers. I think he's right now second in touchdowns in the NFL, like who are in the league right now. So listen, the guy is a beast in the red zone goal line. And by the way, watching film on Murray from last season, with the Broncos, man, he has some speed to him. He is not slow by any means. Like when he hits a hole, like he can get some yards after he hits that hole. He's not a slower back. So, you get what I'm saying? He's not like this big back who slows, not going to give you much, on a breakaway run. He could take it to the house, believe it or not. Like I said, go back and look at his film from last year. Pretty impressive. Let's see. He says, I don't know if he makes the roster, but Andy Isabella says he's trending up. I don't think Andy Isabella is going to make the roster, guys. I don't. I know I know a lot of people are rooting for him. I don't think it's going to happen. I think they're going to give punt return duties to Hardy, in my opinion, and possibly kick returns for Hardy as well. I think he's gonna do both. And I just don't think there's enough room for Andy Isabella. And I don't think anyone's gonna pick up Andy Isabella if you put him on the practice squad. I gotta be real with you guys. I just don't see that. Now, if you put Justin Shorter on the practice squad, I could see someone picking him up, and then boom, there goes Justin Shorter, and who knows what he could be. Andy Isabella is not a guy we drafted. Once again, even if we put him on a practice squad, somebody picks him up, it's not going to affect me that much, guys. I got to be real with you. He's not a guy that's going to have a breakout season, in my opinion. He's been in the league a little while now. Second round pick, let's be real, didn't do much in Arizona. So I'm not saying he's a bad player. I don't see the spot available for him on this team unless it's through special teams. And once again, you could have Hardy do that, who's more dynamic, in my opinion. Third down offense looked good. That's good. At times we struggled on third downs last year. Tyrell Dotson with a nice play on an outside run. So that's the observations from camp. So I got to say, let's start with the Kyer Elam stuff. So today, let me backtrack. Today was no pads, right? You figured the players were, knowing they're playing Saturday, especially, was going to be, a light practice, right? And Kyer Elam was being a little bit too physical today, a little too handsy, they said. And Diggs did not take exception to that. Trent Sherfield did not take exception to that. Neither did Ken Dorsey. I know that Diggs winded up confronting him at some point during camp. Not good. And listen, I don't mind the physicality from Kyer Elam. I want to see that, and that's what I like about his play. But you got to be smart, right? There's no pass today. You know who you're going against. You know, it's a higher risk of injury. You can't do that. You can't play that physical type defense on a non-padded day. And when you know that the season's kicking around the corner, you know, in 28 days of regular season, right? So you got to be careful. And I think that's what Diggs and Dorsey was getting at, and Trent Sherfield was say, hey, man, you got to relax. You got to slow down a little bit. I know you're trying to earn the spot, but you earn that in the preseason, right? Preseason's a couple days away. Saturday, right? Go out there and play physical. I don't know. Go beat up the other guy. Go beat up a Colts receiver. All good. I have no problem with that. Don't beat up Diggs. You know what I mean? Don't beat up Trent Sherfield or, you know, Gabe Davis, right? Save that shit for for an opponent, right? So that was that. Also, I believe there was. I'm trying to read here. I want to share another screen because this way you guys could see a couple of the takes here as well. By the way, Alex, man, that dude's on top of everything, man. So shout out to him because I get a lot of my info from him. So injury, I told you about Terrell Bernard. That is not good for him. Hopefully it's nothing major and he can come back because it was between him and Dotson for that middle linebacker spot. And now, I mean, depending on what his injury is, Spector might have an opportunity, to compete with Dotson for that. But I still think Dotson's going to be your day one starter, week one starter. So Leonard Floyd, by the way, got hurt as well today. But the good news is they said all good, no problem. He came back, nothing to worry about. So that's good to hear. Because I was like, oh shit, Leonard Floyd hurt, not good. I've been like so excited about Leonard Floyd and him stepping in for Von Miller while Von Miller is recovering from his ACL. And if we lose Leonard Floyd, oh man, like that would be devastating. So I'm glad that nothing happened to him. So yeah, see, this is a story that Diggs jogs back on the field opposite the sideline after being down about a minute, appears to have avoided serious injury, still no helmet. By the way, Diggs was fine as well. And then here's where it says Diggs just ran from the opposite sideline, confronted Kyer Elam, and that's what I talked to you guys about earlier. And I believe there was another scuffle. Let's see here. I'll read this. Josh Allen pass batted by Tim Settle, pops in the air, and rookie Kincaid is Johnny on the spot and catches the tip ball for a touchdown. Kincaid always seems to be in the right place at the right time. I'm telling you, man. Guys, get ready. Finally, our backup quarterback doing something. 2 nice plays from backup Kyle Allen to finish the practice. 2 touchdowns. One on a scramble, and another, a beautiful throw to wide receiver Desmond Patman in the corner of the end zone. Might be the best 2-play stretch Allen has had all camp long. And I agree with that because he's done awful. And other than that, that's it. I thought there was another scuffle, but I could be wrong. Excuse me. But yeah, guys, that was the last day of training camp. The players can go home now. You know how that is. They sleep there. Not the best beds in the world from what I heard. So that's it. St. John Fisher, it's a wrap. And preseason starts Saturday. I'm so excited to see what these young guys can do, like the Justin Shorters, the Dorian Williams, and then, of course, the new additions, Poona Ford, right? I'm looking to see what Tim Settle could do his second season here. There's a lot of guys. Now, obviously, Josh Allen, Stephon Diggs is not playing, and y'all know that. You already knew that. I'm assuming they'll probably play a series next Saturday. They'll probably play 1 series, maybe 2, just to kind of get that. Because Josh said he always likes to get like at least 1 series in preseason, kind of take that first NFL hit, which is fine. But this week, like I said, we're just the whole 3 weeks of preseason. It's going to be fun to watch these guys. And then obviously CB2, the battle between Dane Jackson, Benford, and Kyer Elam is something to watch. Once again, Dotson and Bernard. If Bernard hopefully is okay, knock on wood. That's going to be an interesting battle. If not, it'll be Spector and Bernard. And I'm interested even to see what Spector brings. And then also right guard. Let's see what Osiris Torrance does, now that he's facing, somebody else besides his own teammates. And I think, listen, they all, from what I heard, every player I've ever spoke to, former NFL player, they all said, it's a different feeling when you play another team other than like practice and training camp. Like the juices are a little bit flowing a little bit more. You want to hit a little bit harder, right? You want to play a little bit hard. It's just different feeling, right? And some guys shine more when that time comes in preseason or regular season. They just look better because the juice is flowing. Who knows, right? So I expect Torrance to look the par and win that right guard spot in preseason, in my opinion. I already know what Ryan Bates can do. We all know, right? They should listen. If I am Sean McDermott and Dorsey and Cromer, I'm throwing Torrance out there with the ones, or at least, well, the ones aren't playing Josh Allen, but I am at least throwing him out there early on against, I want to see him against ones from another team, right? I'm giving him way more reps, way more snap count than I am Ryan Bates. I know what I have in Ryan Bates, right? I want to see what I have in Osiris Torrance. So they should put him out there. He's a second-round pick. They invested in him, right? And he really is a first-round pick. And they got lucky as hell. And you're gonna have Bates start over him, unless this guy looks like trash in a preseason, or he's just really, has a lot to work on. Then I get it, cool. But let's see it. Put him out there in game action. Don't put him out there against second team, right? Third teams. Like, it's not going to prove anything. I want to see him in there against first teams. Okay. So give him the reps, man. Let this dude work. And I feel like, that's what they didn't do with Kyer at times last year. Like, they didn't really give him the opportunity. And then in regular season kicked on, it kind of seemed like he was a little behind. But we'll see. With Kyer, for me too, I got to say, maybe it's just something with him just not catching on like they thought he would. And Benford seems to have caught on pretty quick last year, and it seems to be catching on even more this year. And maybe that's why Benford has a slight edge over Kyer. I still believe in Kyer, but we'll see what happens preseason, man. So anyways, guys, Bills Mafia, I love you. And as always, go Bills. I'm out of here. Peace.